ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finals of ESL Challenger League North American Cup number 2. It's Get the Bag Mark back with Apples, back-to-back nights after such a sweet semi-final. It's just so good to be here with you, Sophie. I can't believe we're here at a grand final in ECL where, I mean, we're rocking with two teams in this North American region at a Cup 2 that may be a little bit more unique than every other North American Cup. So I don't know if Chicken Coop and SBE are going to have another shot.
It's going to be interesting. I'm quite excited to be here with you, Marky, as well. It's been, I really like this new format. It's not the same teams going into the finals every time, which kind of gives difference to get a bit of a chunk of this prize pool. Look at it here tonight. First place will be going home with $8,000. And you can already see that third and through 6 has already been awarded to some of the teams. Still, I mean, you're going out 6th place. Maybe you're still getting $1,000 out of that, Marky.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know who that other team finishing 6th with F5 was. I can get confirmation on that. I think it's just slipping the mind at the moment. LAG obviously went out in kind of regrettable fashion to their notion. Couldn't play that third map there versus Aether. We just sent Aether home with a good chunk of change, as you saw, but Chicken Coop obviously would like the regional final spot. The VRS that would come with the difference in those spots, first and second place, but also how that is maximized by that $4,000 difference. I mean, obviously that comes to serve some weight, where especially I think there is a big elephant in the room in terms of where Chicken Coop will have this opportunity versus SBE having many more in front of them, right? I think that's where the pressure and stakes of this game really become unique.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And it looks like, to me, I am assuming that Phoenix is the other team that was able to grab that prize pool on that roster. But yeah, looking at this upper bracket, we can see SportsBetExpert had a pretty, I would say, not simple, but a little bit more of an easier kind of coast through this one. 2-0ing almost every single team, almost getting dropped by lag in that semifinals, which you touched on just a little bit. Unfortunate when you're just at LAN and LAN centers close and you're just not able to win that final map. It was going to be a very heavy, interesting decider if that was able to get pulled out. But lag, maybe we'll see them in the next cup. They are still ranking high on those VRS points, so we'll just have to see how that goes. But this is an interesting matchup, Marky, especially since these two teams, I feel like, have seen each other a lot in this last month.
Yeah, they have. They played twice. They played over in the ESEA Advanced Finals as well, in the playoffs, excuse me. I think where you're coming to even see this 2 days ago in the upper bracket that you got to see, it was 2-0, pretty handed 2-0 at that from SBE, shooting back against this Chicken Coop roster. I think that's the fear today. I think SBE coming in with a Falcons level of firepower in North America, just for where we're serving up ECL. But where we're serving up some of the new names in this region is with Chicken Coop. It's with the newly led in-game leadership of Colin, who's hopping onto this roster and technically replacing Panic, where it's actually Panic in place of Jared tonight. But I think that's a really good measure of this roster. I think that's the real shift up in in-game leadership ever since the DNA of this core ultimately was that, like, take flight roster from, back when I'm going way back with like Crisp and Panic and the boys, so this is really cool. This is a new opportunity for all of these players in essence. None of them have played in an ECL grand final, and this is Colin's very first ESL Challenger League opportunity, so to make the finals as an in-game leader is spectacular, Apples.
Yeah, and a SportsBetExpert is a team that you can kind of give that same little bit of perspective to on this kind of roster. We've a lot of different iterations of SBE throughout, I guess, just the last year that they've entered into North American Counter-Strike, starting with just playing an Open 9-10. I think it was maybe season 54, if I'm recalling that correctly, when they just entered straight onto the scene. And that was like way back when they were playing with Trojan, Sergeant Hash and all that. And they've just kind of getting some reiterations of this roster, kind of figuring out how these kind of roles are going to work. And I do have confirmation that Freshie is the IGL, which is interesting. If he is the IGL, because he's been fragging pretty hard. So we'll just have to see how that's able to go, how that calling's going to be able to work against Chicken Coop Esports later this night. But it's kind of an interesting one for SBE, because they've been playing against Chicken Coop with different rosters, different iterations. Like, I think back when you were talking about the advanced playoffs game, they were playing with their owner, Pete. And he was, not playing too bad comparatively to Chicken Coop, but they did still lose that one. But now, 2 weeks later, playing against Chicken Coop a couple nights ago, they blow them completely out of the water. I don't think Chicken Coop was expecting that at all. And that kind of goes with how SBE is just so, they have this ability to just kind of shapeshift whenever they pick up new players in this scene right now.
Yeah, I wonder if tonight will be different because they understand what they're getting themselves into for that notion. You know that this is going to be by far the best mechanical team in this event, and I'm even including LAG. I mean, you're playing with two IGLs on that roster. You are not obviously going to outgun Freshie, Fruit Cup, and Shane. Like, this is obviously a mechanical core that's insane, and OG and SML are not players to forget about at all. But I mean, this is going to be my concern, right? You play in a game with your owner, and I mean, that series was so close. So I really see, in terms of that series, like Rec on map number 1 had like 10 frags. Like, Colin struggled on some of those maps and had as many kills as Pete. Like, I think that's a bad night at the office, sure, but you can make up for that in different precipice with it, right? I think that was a while ago. That was that, playoff match at the beginning of the month. So I think Chicken Coop now is in way better form, but because of two individuals, right? I think you can face off and say that because of these two players that we've put head to head, like, their teams have been headed in the right direction. I think Drop is a cornerstone for whatever roster he plays for. He's willing to do whatever role his team has asked of him. I've watched Drop go from an opper to an entry fragger to an anchor player back to an entry fragger. Like, this guy has done everything his teams have asked of him and is one of the funnest guys to be on a team with. I've talked to a lot of guys that he's teamed with, and I've watched Drop play for a long time since IM, so I've got to see an extreme sample size of this guy that just not about everybody has gotten to Apples, so you can maybe hear my bias creeping in. I'm a huge fan, but I'm also a huge fan of the collegiate scene, and in one of the most crazy cool storylines that we've had in collegiate from some time, SML comes in from Ashland University. The joke in the collegiate scene is, I don't know, we're going to go and do our best in the playoffs and then eventually lose to Fisher College. If there's one other team that's as dominant as Fisher College, it is Ashland. I mean, they're crazy out there, and they're led by SML, who is so excited to, I know he's studying in the U.S. as someone that's, I believe, Portuguese in origin, which is really cool. He played in that scene for a while, played a couple officials for agency, which is quite cool. It was a little mixed down there, and is one of the, like I said, most exciting stories that we have here at ECL.
Yeah, once we start looking over at these maps, something that I kind of want to talk about pretty quickly is just how opposite these map pools are for each of these teams. SB loves those dusty maps, loves Mirage, Dust 2, can play pretty heavily and dominantly on there. I can remember just from their first 2 seasons in ESCA. Completely different roster, I guess you could say, air quote, without missing Evan Caw. He's been here since the beginning. But they would like 13-3, 13-0, so many teams just on those maps. Those are where the foundation of this team is from. And you know what? Honestly, fair point for Chicken Coop to ban that straight out of the gate, honestly.
Whoa. Yeah,
They knew.
that's not every day you're going to be switching up your permaban. That is... Yeah, that's going to be a big one. And I would be a fool to expect anything other than a Mirage coming down the pipe. That's what SBE are just going to punish every day of the week. I mean, that could be the series all in its own if, you know, this Nuke doesn't go their way, which was close last time. They did win it versus SBE, so actually split those hairs. They have a win and a loss versus them during the series, I believe, in ESCA Advanced Playoffs. But you have that Ancient up last, which it really didn't go well for Chicken Coop last time, so I bet they're hoping that, you know, this Mirage isn't going to be too terrible for them. I'll be honest, though, like, if your Mirage is your permaban, like, that was the old Astralis permaban, Apples, like, if there's one map that you can just pull out as a wild card and be able to just frag out on, it's got to be this.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting, especially since SBE, I feel like some of their most interesting and strongest plays are on their T side. You could say that for Chicken Coop for their CT side. So whatever map that we're going to be going into, if it's their choice to go, whoever's going to be switching into that roles, it's going to be honestly really juicy. I'm quite excited for this. This is especially on Nuke. You said it a little bit, SBE. You were talking to me about it in the green room that SBE's Nuke is a little bit not as built up as you could want, but I mean, they didn't ban it out straight out of the gate. They let them pick into this. Hopefully, they've done some work on it, Mark.
Yes, hopefully they have, and I want to see where I think you're playing in the North American scene. Your SBE that's trying to go up against Evoca, against a Marsborn. That's a strong part of their pool too. Freshie up to ramp immediately, and the Mr. In-game leader is getting his hands dirty. Only one clipped out of the corner there.
Lower taken, getting a lot of space here over control. There are some CTs kind of lurking around the corner, and of course, it's going to be Evan. First blood for him.
Welcome to the server,
Take
Evan.
down Wreck. Okay, Fruit Cup helping him out there, but this is getting a little bit messy. The health is on the side of the CTs. Just needs a couple more taps, and easy peasy SBE able to find that first round win.
Unreal stuff from Fruit Cup here. And this is what I was looking to see. I mean, first off, shout out Evan Caw in the server with us tonight. I'm really excited about that. He's playing for Shane tonight, which obviously was brought in with the transition of George and Junior onto Voca, which is kind of the move of the major season in North America, despite what Liquid would lead you to believe. I think that's really going to make them up in arms, going to be pushing, even in the major cycle right now at Frag York, they can, kind of do their best, control their own destiny, though. I haven't been, I've been all over the place, like, telling you about some of the news I've been hearing. M80 lost to Heroic Academy. I mean, what even is that? I saw that earlier, and then when I went and checked the scores, 13-10, 13-11, like, at least they weren't blowouts, right? That's kind of what I'm pulling for that. But, we'll see how it goes at Fergie in-house. I'm not sure how that's going. That definitely has a lot of effect on the Americas.
M80 had their time during that.
I mean, they're an academy team, guys.
Okay. But I feel like their hype moment kind of died way back in Pro League when they had that 30 versus 36 end game.
Yeah, no kidding. That was the history. History. And I will say, Maxwell won on LAN today. I casted JBA's brother playing, so at least somebody in that family's winning. I will say, love you, Josh. You'll bounce back, I'm sure of it. Nade over the top, post plant down B, Apples. This one is going to be complicated.
Yeah, triple entry over from single call and has to fight this, forced into it. He's going to get one for him. Evidently's gonna try and hold down the fort, but 2Panic a little bit worried of ramp. Haven't gotten the quite amount of numbers, but okay, this MAC-10 is really, really working for him. SML able to get one. I don't know if Chris is gonna even want to give him the fight. Does right at the last second. And so right back with that force buy.
This thing is already off to such a crazy start. I mean, the Fruit Cup multi-kill out at the end of the pistol there. SML almost pulling it up. And Panic's MAC-10 just almost shut down the entire round. Chicken Coop answer with the force, and yesterday the problem against them was Brett wasn't able to really run their T side. It was the exact opposite. I think Colin really impressed me there. So keeping pace with them mechanically, Apples, that's what I'm satisfied with so far. I think that's the biggest question tonight because they're going to tactically outdo SBE. That's no question. Maybe I'm selling that part of SBE short. I'm willing to be proven wrong, but this is a mad push from SML. He goes that far outside. That's a lot of info.
Survives from that too, which is very valuable for SBE. Drops in already a great spot over in Vent, and they want to double clear this. I had an idea that maybe someone was able to make their way down secret. Fruit Cup may get his toes clipped here, but just depends on who's going to peek first. Freshie gets his head chopped off pretty soon. Trades are here for them, but they're not completely even quite yet. SBE did force into this, so they gotta see if they can fight.
Running after Rek. Oh my gosh, Rek has actually been caught by that first SMG, but Drop is here with the same notion, with the same narrative to push them back with the small arms, and he's just gonna see Fruit Cup and OG Wizard calling this one an easy save.
Drop's a little hungry for it. I mean, it's still a little early, but might as well go get some money if you want to, if they're that close behind, but pretty safely already. No, oh my god, he's pushing into it.
They're coming after you. Fruit Cup going deep. Oh, he's got that deagle. 2 HP for Mr. Drop, and he'll go down with the bomb. Actually, Chris, whoa, bro got stuck. Bro got stuck. Somebody help him. Oh my gosh.
That does not look comfortable. That does not look comfortable at all.
But yeah, it's nice. It's very good so far by Chicken Coop. I think mechanically keeping pace, right? I think that could be a little bit different. I think the entire time I've been playing this ECL route with Shane. I need to confirm that, and I will have that answer for you momentarily.
Talking about SBE playing with Shane?
Yes.
They, I don't think, have entered.
Yeah, it looks like every game has been with Evan Caw so far.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Caw.
I think it just comes down to roster lock at the time of when they brought him on. Because roster lock was like halfway through February, and they announced it at the beginning of March. May have been a little bit too late. And also a little too early before throwing a new player into NA Cup number 2, an ECL one. With all this money on the line. I mean, still a very, very good mechanically played player. Just don't want to, disrupt some things this early on.
That goes inside of Mini. And Drop still going on this little lurk. Second force buy I thought would have a little bit more action to it. Freshie just caught sleeping at that wheel. He was at the perfect position for that, but Drop wants to go a little bit further. Check out Mini. Getting past the 40-second mark. I'm not starting to panic, but I'm getting there.
Exactly.
One kill out the corner. Ooh. Oh my goodness.
AK's trying to help it now. Okay. 2 Panic and Chris with all that distraction from outside, able to get that 3K needed inside. Going out from Hut. But yeah, that's a good thing to point out that you highlighted there. Not much action for that force buy, especially with 5-7, especially with MP9s buying into that. Expecting maybe a crunch somewhere, but sitting and waiting rather. See who would be walking into their crosshairs.
I think that's a sign of a really good team with a reaction Chicken Coop where I think the players that they do still have remaining, like, don't get me wrong, you can still get caught by, that transition from Mini and that peak from Secret, but, when you just have Crisp next to Panic, like keeping Lobby together in that late round. I think it's really valuable to see that reaction. I think I see that out of a lot of good like tier 2 teams to be able to kind of recover those eco rounds during, you know, all sorts of situations, especially during online play. I feel like it's a lot harder on LAN to get away with recovering around like that, just in all the chaos.
Yeah. After that first pick from OG Wizard, the op finally out. Chicken Coop struggling a little bit to find some more space on this map. Quite worried of that op, but he's already relocated himself, I'm pretty sure, over towards ramp. So slowly stalking in outside. 2 Panic just gonna hold down the 4 over in lobby. Yeah, they're able to connect the dots, and okay, that's the first kill that was needed. They can already see that op is in their way. Evan's going to be helping them out just a little bit over on this site, but this is still not clear at all.
Chris holding long range. There's a good spray down. I mean, he has that HE popping off, and that's detonating after his death. Flash is not going to be touching OG Wizard, who confronts Crisp with 1 clean op shot.
You were kind of glazing OG Wizard to me last night.
It might be every time I open up my mouth about this man who recently has gotten U.S. citizenship. I know that got a lot of attention on Twitter. He got a nice Dust2 article written about it. Boy, I can barely spit it out myself. I think I was talking about their tournament series there for a minute. It resumed to ours, though, in a ramp rush, but OG, Freshie, holding down a very good line of scrimmage. Give Evan Caw his taste. Give him 2 kills on that A4. You're kicking up to him at the end of the day. Let's be real. This is the OG of SBE. I'm not talking about the Wizard.
Yeah, he's been here since the inception, I would think, of SBE. Yeah. Way back in their open days. He's been able to stick around, been a long time standing member. He's the core, you know?
Him and Freshie. Am I correct? I feel like they were both at the very start.
Joined.
Okay.
Probably more in September, I want to say. Let me go look real quick. 1 second. You talk.
It kind of feels like he was like that next big pickup, or rather the first. You know, Evan Caw was like the inception. I believe it was like with Trojan at the time. Like a lot of members have came through SBE in the short time. They've certainly have figured out the roster that works for them, but yeah, obviously taking a little bit of a risk with old Steel. You know, that was a fun 10 minutes. I'll be real. There was Colin who can't sneak himself a bomb plant. It's all left to drop. What are you gonna do? This is just an opportunity to troll, in my opinion. What are you gonna do to find this kill?
Yeah, it looks like Freshie joined just around August. So once they kind of stepped into that next tier of advanced. Oh. What are
this
you
is
cooking,
exactly
man?
what I was
Honestly,
talking about.
This is a cook. I'm going to be real. I saw the vision.
No noise. Just no noise at all.
Well, I mean,
Too
he
thorough.
faked the flash, you know. Trying to bait some people out, you know, when you're just stuck door on Dust 2 and you just throw your pistol out, make them think that it's a flash so they turn around. But it's just you.
Little timeout time themselves, and SBE with no coach. It's a little sad. It's a little sad, I'll be real, but I talked about this last night, and I'll mention it again. It's Starkopsy that's came over here and joined Chicken Coop, though he's not signed up for this tournament, which is a little sad. I think may have joined right after like the restriction came along, so you know, something like that will happen, and something like this that will happen again. That happens a lot of times when we're playing online Counter-Strike on LAN as well. Though in Fragadelphia, things ended like so early today. It was crazy. I think we all got out of there at like 7 p.m., which is like a LAN record, even at these Challenger LANs, even at, you know, IEM Atlanta. I mean, those games go so late. You get those best of threes going to like 8 p.m. sometimes, and that's like peak too.
Last night we were going till 1 a.m. So
yeah, you remember that third map, IEM Dallas, Ends versus FaZe. You're sitting there. It's hour 5 of the best of 3 at that point. You're still on the edge of your seat. Who knows? You could get that in a grand finals tonight. Just getting started. Only the beginning of round 8 here.
I think that was the IM that I actually was not in attendance, unfortunately for me. Very unfortunate for me. It's like I go every other time that something cool happens. I'm always there when Vitality wins, guys. Don't worry about it.
There you go.
I'm holding down the fort for that. But I think it is Pete 187 coaching for SBE. Not completely sure on that mark.
There you go.
Okay, that's a double entry there for Chicken Coop.
Well, that's nice. Doing a little bit more than managing, too.
Yeah. Managing, owner.
Many talents.
Yeah, he played back in the 1.6.
Oh, really?
Time. Yeah.
Had the eye of talent to pick up OG Wizard. That's something I can definitely praise you for. A good place to do it. But it's a good place to canoe this round. Have it completely flip over in the lake.
Oh
That's exactly what it's looking like. Freshie, he has this AK just swapping. It's Wreck that's going to come up the vent. He's just mollied himself off. But in this time, he's going to walk right back around. 40 seconds left, and hell, something like that might have been a misclick. But right now, you can hardly avoid this 30 seconds. You just got to straight up take the fight into Mini, and he's ready for it. In fact, that angle is better for Wreckmeister. It's just Freshie shooting at the feet. 4-4.
There you go. OG Wizard trying to help out early round. A couple op shots here over in Secret. Got that information over to the team just to help him out. Almost there. But the heroic's not going to happen this round. Freezing Freshie. Just have to see if they get an opportunity to do that again. The money is looking good so far. So that op is going to be back into contention for SBE. Just depends on how long OG Wizard is able to hold on to that. Chris just kind of hanging out over on site. Really able to get too much space on here. 2Panic is going to join him. Get a couple of damage points for himself, but honestly, this is very weirdly spaced from Chicken Coop. SBE is just kind of finding all the cracks that's needed, but the plan's going to happen. They found a corner.
Molly, they have one back themselves, but 2Panic. Give you a vintage moment. 1v4, they swing through the smoke, and as it dissipates, they're able to make up for the individual peak. They shut down the possibility of a clutch. It's going to be SBE that pop back on that bomb.
Didn't have their outside counterpart for that A take with that very aggressive push from SML. Just holding it down on one angle as OG Wizards able to find drop. Get a little bit better for the CTs. Now SBE with the lead. I have some pistols. Do something quick here, Chicken Coop. I'm ready to be impressed. There we go once again. OG Wizard, nice shot from him. Freshie's helping him out. 3K for him. This is just easy cleanup, Mark.
Too easy for this crew. Too easy for the Canadian cornerstone. That's what I want to see from Freshie. And there's Fruit Cup frying him. I feel like I'm just casting Boss back 1 year ago. Though that probably would have been Blue Jays.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I was reminiscing about that time with somebody I was chit-chatting with just today at Frag York. I mean, I remember when they just got signed, I caught the same, like, flight as Fruit Cup to Philadelphia, and, I mean, he was quite excited to, you know, get that organizational support. Obviously, here, that's, you know, really something that's awesome about this matchup. You know, Chicken Coop has been really local to the NA scene and, you know, been able to raise up a couple of different rosters. Of course, SBE just, you know, kind of getting involved with this team last 6 months, and it's always great to have new names.
Yeah, and I think Blue Jays almost went to the major, if I'm thinking that correctly. They were in, like, a pretty close spot for it.
Yeah, and the Americas, like, coming towards the end, they were in a couple of those, you know, little simulations and whatnot.
NRG and Marsborn. Yeah, they were able to kind of get there. But 6-4 scoreline, have a 4 versus 3 retake. Triple entry over from Secret. Clock is starting to tick. You have some kits at their disposal. There's just so many T's just kind of waiting. Chris may have had that sightline drop. Is going to help him out there. A nice 2K for him, but there's another player lurking around the corner. Fruit Cup not going to check his corners. All versus him and Colin, and you know what? The Galil's going to take it this time. Chicken Coop are entering back here at their own pace.
This has been a very great first half so far. I mean, I'm getting it all. I'm getting a very good half so far. I think called out of Colin. I think I've been very satisfied here in SBE. They're showing up just as dangerously as I thought, but I mean, this is hanging still in a little bit of limbo. Oh, Crispy just missed the runway on the boost up top. That's just a little sad. Nobody was out there anyway. That's the silver lining, I'll give it.
Nice pick from OG, though. I think that's from a nated Squeaky. Two Panic trying to lurk out there. Ooh, missed shot there from OG Wizard. Able to kind of find the head of this T player over on Marsh. His eyes are peeled here. There is not that much utility left on these 3 players that are outside. Has to kind of rely on Chris, but one nice kill. Wreckmeister is dropped down. Oh my gosh, he's just too good with it. OG able to find a third. It's all down to Chris, but with an up, the last possible chance to tie this up. Fruit Cup is able to get it to 7-5 half on Nuke, with SBE leading the charge. Chicken Coop are going to have to play the CT side as well as they can after this quick break.
7-5 out of that first half, but I'm still not drawing conclusions. That was a really good, I think, finish to what was, in totality, a great CT side from SBE, but
yeah,
I really don't know after last night seeing Chicken Coop if that's going to be good enough.
We'll just have to see how strong Chicken Coop are going to be bringing it on their CT side. We saw it versus Aether, like you were saying. It was very, very strong. But so far, these two teams have matched up very, very well. It feels very identical. The only, like, kind of, I guess, drop-off you would see would be with OG Wizard versus Chris. We haven't really seen the op come out for Chris quite yet. Hopefully we do see it now because, you know, CT side, a little bit easier to find those angles to hold, but just not as strong as you would really want it to be, Mark.
I'm just going, yeah, no, I agree, but they're not looking the best that they can. I mean, Rek is 6-11.
Yeah.
I know Drop was our player to watch, but he's not normally the guy that's, like, top fragging for this team, and this isn't a diss by Chicken Coop. They're very much hanging in the balance here. So when I think they can find that full power, that's going to be a real moment, real turning point in this game. Clicking onto this A site, it's Fruit Cup with a couple of shots out towards Wreckmeister.
Oh, and you can see Evan already in heaven. Nice shot from Fruit Cup. Now kind of taking a little bit of interest over to Rek. Now Evan has now started to activate in heaven, but you can see the dualies are coming into play. Drop and 2 Panic each, able to find one. Once again, Evan in that incredible position here up in heaven. Crisp has to spend so much time trying to get this player out. Okay, There we go. One tap, but both of these players very, very low.
Knife
One
out.
shot could be it.
Oh my God. Crisp, he just read that so well. I mean, SML, I think he gets a little bit ahead of himself there. Evan Caw comes to swinging. It's the second half, and I think Chicken Coop just beginning. This is great. I mean, this is access to a pistol that, honestly, if SBE get their hands on, I mean, they're easily finding, like, 9 rounds in probably 2 minutes. I mean, this thing would have been a really, really dangerous first half if that would have been the world we live in. But I gotta say, it's Chicken Coop that feel really relieved not to be.
Yeah, and I think that is what happened back on their match a couple days ago, where they went very, very hard in the paint versus Chicken Coop. It was a 13-6, 13-2 of SBE. They just had such a strong first half. I think it was a 9-1 first half on Ancient that, you know, Chicken Coop did peek into. So luckily for Chicken Coop, they're not going to let that happen quite yet. Still fighting back on this nuke.
Oh,
Ooh.
man.
Fighting back, they shall. Evan, a nice 2K just to start this one off. Rek, he's trying to grab some little bits for himself. That's a really great double entry there. Ooh.
SML sprays under Rek. I mean, Drop, he's walked this far, gets one headshot. This is the force buy back from SBE, and Drop, if you go back to the site, you got more players to deal with. I can't believe he takes that stab at SML. The kill had to come from somewhere. Barrel spotted by Panic. He's just gonna lunge right at Fruit Cup and take him out before he even knows. Out of the right side of the smoke is exactly what he predicted! And the spray up into the top of OG Wizard. 2 Panic couldn't be happier with this clutch to bring a tie game.
Great read there, and honestly, it's been full CT side of great reads from Chicken Coop. Just these bots opening up, and the spray down goes so low before he's able to even just see his head. I really like 2 Panic as a player, especially on CT side, so I'm excited to see how he activates a little bit later, too.
One last dance he gets with the Chicken Coop crew. Wonder why he was even benched on this roster. Showing up in big form in the grand finals. Force backed by SBE. The time to do it too, where you can afford those multiple Galils. You know, still, the gauge of getting control here at the beginning. of the second half. Starting to lose that. And we're a couple rounds in. But being the first team to, be ecoed is a spot that everyone is trying to avoid, especially Chicken Coop on the CT side. Drop with an opening kill. That's on Freshie, and doesn't really give them too much of an idea. It could be the A play. It could be the ramp shot taking next, and it's the latter.
Two Panic just trying to create some space, wait for his team to get down. He spots a couple of heads, but there's so many players looking at him. At least Wreckmeister is going to help him out there over at double, but they got to fight the players that are looking behind them. Just get pinched over on ramp. So waited a little bit too long to get a little bit more aggressive, but they read that perfectly.
Interesting. I mean, I know this is running it down, but this is taking a risk. This was the force buy up for SBE. All of a sudden, I'm talking about, SBE. If they can rip this pistol, it's a conversion. It's a couple of rounds, they'll get back up to 9 potentially first without Chicken Coop having a say, excuse me. That's exactly what you get here. I mean, this is crazy. Chicken Coop take full control. Just some crisp pistol clutch. Panic in the clutch. Look, these are circumstances, that are really hard and you can't repeat, but that's why you have to take advantage of those and make the slight difference in a grand final.
Yeah, pistols just aren't doing anything. It's like they're just water guns, a little bit of damage, but Wreckmeister starting to come back into form. We can see him at double-digit kills now. Trying to get something done. SML, okay, able to find one for his try. Okay, another one as well. Gonna pick up that rifle for himself. Still has 3 more targets left in the round to find. They have a nice crossfire over on that B site. Looks like it was gonna be the one to hold him back from ramp. I wasn't even expect this.
Or drop might not expect, yeah, but the off angle. That's a pretty polite body spray from Crisp. I don't know if you saw it before. The first time he did it back in Mini in the first 4 rounds, it was in response to Fruit Cup spamming the bodies early on, but now it's just, I guess, a quick acknowledgement.
It's a spicy server we got here tonight. Pretty spicy. Not quite.
It'd be a good game without some tension.
Exactly. Fruit Cup pushing past the CT that's already here. Colin's able to grab at least one before SML's able to trade that back, but that is pretty damaging. SML has to do a little bit here. Finds Rack. Maybe he's going to try and find Chris, but they are quick with it. These trades are coming so fast here in this round. SB not going down without a fight. They got this B site. They got the bomb plant, and they have OG Wizard on the op. Now, Chris entry in over from Secret. They do have a sight line on this, but how gonna be with these shots? He finds the first, has another one, is able to jump peek. It gets a little bit of damage. That Molly is gonna force him out of that position. Drop has to do something quick.
Fruit Cup. This is the worst angle, the worst 2 angles in the crossfire to just go ahead and clear. That would have been a little too improbable. Line held by OG, round delivered by SBE.
I mean, messy, but it works. Able to get into those post-plant positions so quickly over on B when drop was right there is so valuable here for them.
A little bit more space out to the back of Mini, but SML hits Crispin. I figure he got eyes on Colin in that moment. They're reading it so well. That is so easy. And I would be sprinting back to CT spawn if I was Wreckmeister and 2 Panic, but yeah, there goes your one rifle. 2 Panic might just have to hang around and get one of these guns, right?
It's a 5-7. Maybe could cut off Evan here. But he's able to see that gun way too quickly. A tied game here, Mark.
Super well
Round
done.
18.
I mean, I know this is just keeping together the easy ones, but that's where things can be the most difficult. I'm talking about example A at the moment. Too. Yeah, they're going to get a full eco.
Except for that Zeus. See that Zeus on record?
Oh, I do. I love how that is illustrated in our HUD as well. You don't get to see that every ECL game you cast. So this may really be the first time. Yeah, Observer, you know the assignment. This is the Wreckmeister cam at the moment. Here's the drop. Hey, getting popped by Colin. How many more can we get? It's always that P2K, Colin. Oh my gosh, it's Wreckmeister. He's going to be pushing in a really weird position. I could see the thought process behind that push, but Evan just reacts too quickly.
They may be flanked here. They're leaving Secret to Panic, and Colin picked up AK from that first duel one. Panic kind of playing a little bit of a bait and switch there as the AK is going to activate. Drop, not going to be able to come out of ladder. Bomb planted, and got to decide here and now. Are you going to go for this or save that AK that could potentially be map defining? Now as SBE look to take their double-digit 10th round. Now, Panic's also going to be grabbing that AK. That is honestly pretty valuable. Too valuable to lose. Got to go hide here pretty soon.
Getting 2 AKs out of things? I'm calling that profit, to be so real with you. 2 kills on top of that. Hey, I guess those AKs had to come from somewhere now. But double digits in the lead back towards SBE. Back off of the fumes, back to the gun round, our chicken coop. But, I mean, right now it's honestly the machine of SBE that's been provoked. I really feel like they're in gear with 3 rounds right in front of their face that they have to take to win a map number 1 and then try and punish on a permaban that chicken coop tried to trick them with. This is right up their alley.
Not playing too aggressive outside as they were the last couple of rounds, but no, SB, they're going to take that and just go straight down to Secret, SML, MAC-10. Colin just around the other corner. I think he saw this shadow. Able to pick up that AK that was dropped on over is valuable indeed. Evan does get caught. Nice trade over. But Wreckmeister being out this early, a little bit difficult. Oh, miss op shot there from OG. Drop is able to push through. He is, while they haven't been totally converting into the CT round wins, been pretty valuable with kills.
This is freshy mid-round. I mean, making a couple of steps. This is really an ugly moment. Getting caught with both these players to door. Honestly, pretty lucky that drop doesn't get traded there. It finally does come through. It's now crisp up at Mustang that is hopping to not see his feet, not have them shown in that moment. Tied game back for Chicken Coop. I mean, they survive on top of Crisp and Drop's efforts. They've done so well defending inner during this game, Sophie. I think this is really a point to press. Drop is 21 frags deep.
That's insane. That is not completely normal for him. We see him kind of usually towards that middle of the scoreboard, which doesn't speak less of him as a player. It's more like he is that support fragger, not the one going too aggressive, but on CT side, but really lightening up for Chicken Coop. He's been reading things like crazy. To afford this op back into it. OG don't know if he senses the 2 CT players on this other side of Garage. And Colin is also sat in secret. They've really bolstered down the secret move. Smolgus drops first. Nice trade over from Colin, but that is a lot of info brought over.
One headshot over the top. I mean, Chris staying alive here is great. Evan Kaw staying in place, but they're getting down secret. And Evan Kaw really doesn't have to. I mean, essentially just holding them right to get a kill. Am I missing something? Where is this bomb?
In spawn. Smile.
Goodness gracious.
Who threw it outside and then didn't get it?
The concerns
That's such
when you have
an MM kind of style thing to do.
I think that's exactly what you get when you kind of take 5 players, throw them together, and say, this is our team, right? I think you could maybe hear that with, you know, the Shane iteration of this team. Like, I feel like I could fit IGL into Evan Kaw's, like, kind of camp more than, honestly, I could give it to Freshie more naturally. This thing looks to be a mess at the moment, and SBE can hardly, you know, keep their shot managed. Oh my god, Freshie is stabbed in the back in the grand finals by Wreckmeister. It could all be going wrong at the end, at the worst time for SBE. It's so good for Chicken Coop.
Well, I feel like Chicken Coop, after those map bans, have really gotten into a place where, all right, we have to get this done. We have to get this round. We have to get this map, because after this, we go to Mirage, which
Such
is,
respect.
I would say, not really a Chicken Coop map. That's just,
Yes,
that's just
no,
me.
that is the permaban. But it's crazy. I mean, you let it in through here. Honestly, if they get more than like 9 rounds on it, I would genuinely be surprised. I think that versus SBE, a team that is just going to outshoot you on it, and the fact that you have no officials played just tells me exactly what I need to know. And
hey, but Chicago Mirage,
respect.
I'm sure they got plenty of pugs on there.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're just gonna play 5v5 Counter-Strike how you had the entire time. A Mirage is no different. Nothing special there. Evan Kaw crept on, and that is a big shot by Drop.
Been showing up like crazy. I know he keeps saying that, but there we go. A nice other angle, just kind of taken away from them. We're gonna get a trade here and potentially a site taken by SBE. Freshie on the op now.
Around that corner, Colin with the big headshot, sprinting through the doors. Colin with 2 kills. Chicken Coop, they can see 12 rounds right in front of their face, but almost a 180. And they started out the first half spraying bodies in lower. That's the way that Colin wants to end it, but the shoe, it's on the other foot at the moment. Chicken Coop, they're leading, and they're about to be on the cusp of going up 1-0 on the trip to the regional finals of ECL. They got a Mirage up next, but they still have to just sign and send away this nuke at once.
They're broke. They have Galil's, a MAC-10, 1 AK on to OG Wizard. 2 potential rounds to make this work. Chicken Coop been really good at just shutting this down. A nice smoke fade, crisp, online with that off. Colin trying to help him out. Lots of damage both ways. No kills coming from the spams. Rex already down lower. He's already here. He reads this. This team has calmed. They have voice chat. Oh, they're at a standstill. Just waiting for the smoke
decision to let it go here. Evan is keeping himself entertained. Leave those reels, kids. Can end up like Evan Kaw. All jokes aside, I need Evan, excuse me, to provide the difference in that round just so I can immediately regret that statement. OG is staying down here to just try and sell the lie that they're really going to be hitting this B site. in that the pack is going to be here, about to swing open these double doors. That's what they want him to believe. But now, Evan Koff, bomb scene, drop on the scene. He's got this one headshot, and he's already done so much. Yeah, we're just going back down lower. Evan Koff, he's going to take the vent and go right back to meet up with OG Wizard.
Two
I guess
panics
I'm wrong.
have...
He teased the vent. He's still here. Fruit Cup, he's on the top of the hut. How are they going to be able to hold down this plant? The question is really how. Two panic from the top. Chris with the no scope. We're headed on to Mirage. Up 1-0 from the Chicken Coop end. And this is insane. The best opportunity that Chicken Coop are going to have to make the regional finals of ECL is here. Up 1-0.
Wow. I mean, we were worried for just a little bit. Knew that they had to show up on their CT side after that, you know, not too great of a first half of Nuke for them. Not their usual. Able to play it back and bring them to 13-10, shut down everything that SportsBet was trying to do on that T side. Incredibly done here, but it's going to be a completely different story once we go on over to Mirage. That is SportsBet's territory. It is one of those dusty maps that they love to play in. Like you said earlier, you know, could be the permaban that Chicken Coop doesn't really play at all in officials. So maybe they read this, maybe they knew this. They've done a little bit of practice, potentially, maybe some scrims. I don't know. I'm hoping. You'd be hoping if you're switching up your permaban, right, Mark?
You really have to hope so, and you really have to hope so considering the Ancient was just really non-competitive before 2 days ago on the 25th when this game happened in our upper bracket. You have to assume that if you're going to be, I don't know, pulling out all the stops, doing something that you haven't before, trying to catch your opponent off guard, it's going to be here in the grand finals. Here where you're a significant underdog. Here where Chicken Coop are going to have their best opportunity. Here on to Mirage. I guess, you know, I can serve it up like this. Anecdotally, you know, if you would have told me that we have Chicken Coop up 1-0 in the grand finals apples, I thought you would have been flatlined to my face. You know, now the fact that they're saying onto a permaban, maybe that's not such an impossible statement either. We'll find out that and more. Mirage up to map number 2 between SBE and Chicken Coop in ECL North American Finals Cup 2. You're going to get that map number 2 heading up here in just about 10 minutes time. Well, Chicken Coop take the ultimate gamble now. It's the grand final, so there's not a greater time to do it. Out with our regular permaban and onto, well, scheduled programming apples that hasn't occurred all season. Onto Mirage, go Chicken Coop to close out the series. But I don't know if that's such a bet to make. I gotta say that if it were SBE to come back up and extend this thing to 3, in any set of circumstances, it couldn't be more perfect.
Absolutely. But the thing is, this could be something that Chicken Coop's been just kind of hiding underneath their feathers. Chicken joke there. Just because they've been perma-fanning it. Maybe they just don't like playing this map too much. It could be just a little bit more difficult. And now this is the time that they need to realize, yes, this could be difficult, but this would be honestly game-changing for them as a roster if they are able to take this map from SBE. Because this is something that isn't even on their HLTV page from the last 3 months. Like, they don't play this map. I don't know how many times we can just drill that into your heads. This is not their style. So, yeah. I don't know if they're just going to go into this maybe more of a puggy kind of vibe, like you were saying earlier, just a 5-man versus SBE. We'll see how it goes.
Like, these vanilla protocols and set strats that you should have, you do have. I mean, Mirage is woven into your DNA. Yeah. Hell, you're an NACS player. I mean, that's got to be guaranteed. And investigating into middle, I mean, you have a strategy to go about this. The decision is to clear up to those boxes. And right now you're seeing the Palace pop. So Colin, you can put up a couple of shots his own, but the priority here is to play retake. They're just going to be gunning it down at Colin, and it's really ugly from Colin. He's not able to get 1 there in the frenzy. And 2, just right off the rip of it. SML to the top of it. Evan and Freshie back to back. It's 1 flash. And now Crisp, if he can get this second, which he doesn't, I was saying he could dare to make this a round that could affect the Chicken Coop in a positive manner. 3 players alive there as 1-0 pops up on the scoreboard.
Expected not to have a complete pistol protocol for a map you don't play that much. Fortunately, Gamble stacked kind of more towards mid. From Chicken Coop, throwing 3 players there early round, only having calling on that CT side. Couple pistols here for Chicken Coop to try and fight into this, but they already have AKs on the side of SBE. It's going to be a hard one. Rek as the B anchor. That makes sense. Played really well. Oh, hold on. Yeah, played really well on that B anchor side on Inferno yesterday versus Team Aether. So wanting to put very, very strong rifle player on that. Makes sense to me.
It makes sense to me as well from that perspective. Hold on, you just got down to the 2v2. Rek, I mean, speak of the current conversation, he is mentioned to come up in this clutch again. Gotta approach with the MAC-10. I think he's just gonna slip the angle in the first gunfight he could have taken. In my imagination, no greater than that. 1v1. Evan calls 100 HP, and well, there's the contact. Bit daring to go for a peek like this, and what? To the window and back.
How many
just gotta
clips
surprise him. Fake flash. A fake of the switch to the gun. He should have just seen the shadow. Evan caught. It's going to go for the plant in this scenario. Back out with the Galil. Wreckmeister is not going to be fumbling this opportunity. 1-1. SBE going to be so furious at that fumble.
You know, if it's going to be another Wreckmeister map, I am fine with seeing it. I really like how Chicken Coop was able to play this. I mean, it was still a little bit of just a pistol buy. It was an eco from them. So not really going into it with too much of a plan. They were just kind of seeing where they could slip the cracks and find some spots to just find a couple of frags. And there we go. We got Wreckmeister with a nice 3K and an AK picked up. That's a great way to set the tone against SB. Like, all right, hold on. It's not going to be as easy as you may think it could be. At least in this early round, losing the conversion back down to almost no money. Only a hero rifle onto Freshie.
out like this, but you just got eco'd. I mean, it's straight up eco'd. That was the USPs to the maximum. Got these big guns now. And it's an opportunity like this, I think unironically, just one little bit at a time, one round, you're going to put that one foot in front of the other. Is Chicken Coop going to make SBE probably a little bit frustrated seeing this little bit of a force buy now just wished out of the way? I mean, of course you weren't just going to eco after all if that went down. Definitely not. But each little phase of this game to the next, you just got to get 13. This is Chicken Coop with no greater opportunity than this. And Chicken Coop are even, I don't know what the, odds, so to speak, were looking like them for at the beginning when, let's say that Cup 2 invites were even given out on Twitter probably like 2-3 weeks before the event even took place. I mean, everybody's going, and by everybody, I think me and all my friends like you, Apples, who are casters with opinions, who are pundits, like, I think we all clearly thought that LAG would have just taken this and really no competition. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of logistics to go as to why, but who knows if they're guaranteed to win that map versus Aether. We don't know. We don't care. There are logistics that affect other tournaments too. And right now, that's what Chicken Coop have to see. I mean, it was in the lower bracket that they ran over Aether last night. That's where that matchup would have occurred. But, I mean, this is where Chicken Coop up 1-0 in the grand finals already versus SBE. This is a team that, I mean, it's weird. They're going to be playing with Evancaw here, but they played more with Evancaw than they have ever with Shane. So tell me that's an issue, and I won't believe you.
I feel like, in a different sense, it all just comes down as well to how you were talking about in the first map. Just the technical ability of both these teams matches up really well, which, kind of shows, yeah, Chicken Coop can go and get an eco round win with USPs because they know how to tap heads. They know how to find these players, find these off angles to be able to put themselves into a situation that is a possibility for them. Chunky nade. All right, yeah. There we go. Add a double one into there. Wreckmeister helping him out. Stalled here in mid.
Crisp, panic, everybody's pulling mouse one. Even if they're full blind, even if they're just spraying into a smoke. Topping up with the USP over the top two. 5 alive and a flawless win here for Chicken Coop.
This is looking like the Wreckmeister you've been talking about.
A 6-1 start. A little bit more than just the antics of a stab in the back of Nuke. So much respect for that. I mean, you can see the personality and also the pull that he has in this team with his performances that are this great. He's got to keep it up, though. This thing has not even seen close to the thick of this game.
Very pushed up. Even not even given the chance to pull the trigger. That is so much space taken away from the T's. Chicken Coop, they are going to push back just a little bit. Freshie going to beat out with the squad. I think they want to re-fight over in apps. Maybe throw some fake utility some way and pull some rotates is what I'm thinking with Fruit Cup making his way on over to ramp. They don't really need to do that too much. There's already 4 players over on that A site. All they really have to fight through is Colin.
Hop over the top. It's Colin that's going to dish back, and here's that spray. Colin was already making this round really good in the first press under. There's Freshie. 2 kills, can figure this thing out on his own. And significant damage done to drop. This is a really awkward angle, and swinging through the fire is OG Wizard. And this, he knows he's going to have to take some risks. And maybe even more so for Freshie here right at the end. This is going to be the clutch he would wish to have engineered. Both of these fights, obviously going to be separated. And he could just work this back to 2 Panic almost perfectly. But the swing back and 2 Panic it punishes. Again, such another close round, one out by Chicken Coop, and I'm talking about the big mechanical plays.
Just too much there for Freshie to try and carry on his shoulders alone. Isolation of those fights not going exactly how you want it to, but a bomb plant is a bomb plant. So gonna let them bring a little bit more firepower into this round. Yeah, I like that we're being proven wrong. I really like that. So let's
try and not get too excited. I'm really not. So like, this is super encouraging, but I feel like in one round you could just see this light stomped out by SB. This is a team that, if I'm to see them provoked, I think they're going to take it to the next level. That's how I've always seen the play of Fruit Cup, especially. When he gets tilted, I think he actually gets better.
Which is something I haven't really had on SVE in a while. In the past, it's been kind of hard for them to just get through that tilt if they're losing a lot of rounds in a row.
That's a good point.
So having Fruit Cup is definitely going to help them. But a nice trade, at least. OG's going to help out. Rec has pushed out over on Hat. But okay, they're dotting their I's, crossing their T's. Two Panic starting to activate over in Palace is just going to be snuffed out at this point. All down to Colin, making it a 1v2. Bomb getting planted. Numbers punched in now. Has a limited bit of information on where these T players are, but does have a little bit of utility to help them out.
This is his moment. His first ECL Cup as a caller, and he's here in the final. Feeling himself on this second map. You can already tell. Here's the double swing. And Colin can't even begin to separate these fights. Taken out by Freshie, who says to the rest of the team, I mean, if we're going to be asleep at the wheel here, I'll be the one to steer this thing directly with 8 frags. I feel like it's the last 6 in the last 2 rounds.
Starting to feel their way out here. Double ops on the side of Chicken Coop. Heavy nade in mid. Drop looking for players that kind of come out. Taking their time. I love this double push over in ramp. I don't know if Freshie is really going to be privy to this quite yet. So playing this very slow so far. Evan really the only one given a little bit over to these teams, but Freshie is going to be able to spot the first. Two Panic is going to get punished from that push, and Colin very quickly is going to shut down that B site lurk as well. Quiet on the home front. Bomb making their way through apps. Colin's still going to be jump spotting. Nice molly thrown down. He's got to hope and pray that he's able to hold down this spot.
Oh my gosh.
Freshie is going to not clear that angle. At least SML is there for the trade, but now it's not even numbers. That has given them ample time to rotate on in. Drop activating with this op, and I don't even know if they're going to spot that Crisp is here again with an op. Fruit Cup on an island 1v2. Seen this before.
It's a moment. And Fruit Cup, this is such an awkward fight that he just got on the Crisp 1v1 to the Cop in this series, and Wreckmeister sees him over the top and has a big duel 1. Again, you can tally that one into the wall. I mean, another 1v1 here on B, won by Chicken Coop. We're adding these up. They've got 5 here in this first half. Drop coming in here with the op at the end is the savior, is spectacular. They're bringing out all the stops. It's a situational Counter-Strike succeeding here for the Coop.
Looking for an A execute here with pistols. Limited utility. The MAC-10's going to help just a little bit. 2Panic is holding it down, at least for now. Rex going to help him out. Switched on over to Palace for this one. Hold on. It's a 2v2. It's gotten a little bit easier here for SBE, but Colin activating over from CT. SML left alone. And that op, so crispy.
It's the way it was intended. Panic with the triple hold right there. Trying their hands at the A site. And back to it again. Chicken Coop just inside of this cycle. The CT side providing. I mean, really, this is just Counter-Strike 101 stuff. I mean, I'm talking about, you know, those little, DNA bits of the protocols, the basic stuff that you have here on Mirage. I mean, it's always going to come through. And when I'm talking about that situational Counter-Strike, yeah, that funny buzzword I just said, I'm talking about the decisions made in the moment where it's made different. Just ridiculous at the beginning of this round, though. I mean, Crisp just took 2 out from one, I think, pretty effortless mid-approach. He just popped out with the second smoke.
Spots. Evan there in Palace. Drop with that bit of view over onto Freshie. It's gonna get a little bit nasty. Okay, I mean, this off is working so well for Chicken Coop here over on Mirage. OG's not gonna be hitting that jump as much as he wants to. It's a bro ace here for Crisp and Drop.
Running through this thing, sprinting it.
So good.
When does it stop? I am so serious. We need one Heimlich round. Otherwise, it's going to be SBE stuck in their own heads with the narrative echoing through it. That this thing is the perfect set of circumstances to call a trap game. But in this essence, it's just the one map. One that they probably assume is so safe that they slip up.
Sometimes that's just where you get taken advantage of on a map that you assume is safe. Comes down to those map bans. I mean, Chicken Coop banning Dust 2, knowing that SBE is very, very comfortable on that. Yeah, Mirage is also comfortable for them too, but a little bit easier to practice those protocols, practice that little bit of team synergy on that CT side, knowing that SBE is going to pick into it, that they can choose CT, get this round lead, have a little bit of leeway on trying to figure out that T side. It's just, honestly, it's smart politics from them.
Absolutely. This campaign running on dollars too, but honestly for 7-2, you'd think they'd have more. Only with the, little bits on the back end, Colin, maybe Wreckmeister, all of the casualties, excuse me, I'm forgetting Crisp. They've really costed a lot. So while this is a pretty one-sided scoreline, this game has come down to multiple 1vx's on the B side, consecutive pressurous situations. The Chicken Coop, just time and time again, are coming out on top of. Still able to recover with the chance of a 7-5 half.
And those A smokes out again. Drop's gonna kind of get rid of some of the con push. Collins activating over from Firebox, but Fruit Cup, little bit of team damage, but makes up for it in the end with a 2K. 2v2. Bomb on the site. But honestly, some of the last two players that you want to be playing against for this Hail Mary kind of a round, trying to find 3 in this half.
Around that corner, it's Wreckmeister that has to adjust. OG 1v1. And they're depending on their opper in the best set of circumstances, and it's the same thing for the Coop, who have Crisp tapping on the bomb once. There's not going to be a look out of jungle where Crisp predicts, but does Crisp outposition OG Wizard? Pistols out! And another 1v1 goes to Chicken Coop. It just happens to be destiny tonight. It's 8 rounds through the first 10, and right now they're not leaving anything out there on the pitch, and even letting know that he's got to stay in the dirt. This is really happening. I think that is just worth saying out loud. You are seeing this for real.
This is not AI. This is not generated. This is live, happening right now. Chicken Coop leading on Mirage 8-2. You know what? This is a grand final. This is something that is interesting that they are pulling out for us. Entertainment that we needed on this beautiful Friday evening. And it's just, oh, so good. It's delicious. It is yummy. They're eating apple pie for dinner.
This is just too good. I mean, it's just too good to believe.
Good.
Drop with the last 2 kills, and it feels like a dream. That's because it is. Too good to be reality at the moment. But avert your eyes. This is actually what appears in front of us. All 5 members of Chicken Coop flowing. I'm sure Doc is watching along on the mainstream Apples. I'm sure he's so happy with this.
Absolutely. Has to be. Last time to find some semblance of a round before your enemy team gets double digits. Their CT side, just like that. Drop and wreck. We're gonna do what they do best. Getting rid of that mid presence early. We have a very, very mobile off on 2 Panic here on this A site. And that's gonna be it for this half. 10-2. Chicken Coop, yes, they are leading it now. We'll be right back after this quick break just to see how this second half goes.
Three rounds away from make-believe, simply here in the grand finals of ESL Challenger League Cup 2 in North America. Not only did Chicken Coop come through on map number 1, they're just simply up by 8 rounds after the first half, 3 rounds away from taking it on their permaban. This is impossible stuff that's occurring, but impossible ain't the right word to use when we're this far in the tournament. We could be out of this thing in 3 rounds alone.
I mean, what else could you want for a grand final here? Just something completely turned on their side. There we go. Chicken Coop, they are delivering it exactly how we want to, but Speed not going to be taking this sitting down, getting very aggressive here in apps. Almost, I think that's a triple stack for Freshie was taken down on by Wreckmeister. Chicken Coop kind of running just around the map, seeing where they can go, seeing where they can just shoot at these players. Two Panic is going to help. We have brought this to a 2v2 already. Do have Two Panic and Chris to see how this is going to go. SML and Fruit Cup, they have to answer now.
Not even the pistol can be locked up easily. Guys, this was a 2 versus 4. Added to the avalanche of rounds that have just gone the way of Chicken Coop through a special set of circumstances. Such air quotes I put around that word. Because they have so many things on their side tonight to line up. Panic, he's whiffing. He's got to hit that shot. In distraction, it's Chris that runs out. It takes the bomb planter away. 11 rounds here for Chicken Coop. And they have done just enough to lock this thing up. 2 more moves away from Magic.
They have to force into this. They have to force into this. SBE, what is going on? Fortunately, it's just Freshie really saying much on that side. 15 kills. Been rough for the rest of the players. They have a force in here. Drop's going to be the first one to go down. Had to spend all the money that they could to be able to just get a little bit of weaponry here. Third player taken care of. Wreckmeister going to be the first one leading the charge. And okay, the MP9s are going to start yapping here now. Evan trying to hold back the forces, but Colin's already in bench. What is going on with this team?
Just found Colin. There's Chris with the double. Evan at the bottom. And then the sprays through the smoke. I was worried we were going to get another pistol round circumstance where these 2 players just peek it in last second. We're going to be taking over. Round loss, and we're going to be calling a tech pause. I'm not sure to whose end, but maybe a good a time as any to slow this thing down. SML with that final frag.
I got to take a bit of a breath here. I know they had a little bit, some halftime breaks there just to take a breath. Got to make sure that you know what you're doing. 2 AKs are picked up for SBE. Pretty incredibly valuable for them. There are a lot of very good aimers on that side. So if they're just able to tap heads, could be able to just turn some tides. Chicken Coop still haven't quite yet gotten that OT for sure. Having bring that to 12. Still keeping on their toes for now.
Up by 8. I'm not seeing anybody DC, which makes me happy. Which makes me quite happy.
Player cam kind of issue.
Typical. Got to keep them plugged in, but hey, just a momentary tech pause, and we're right back on track. Don't want to throw the Chicken Coop too much out of their vibe, right?
Yeah.
Neither SBE.
Going.
Looking for just a bomb plant in this round, but plenty of util on Colin.
We just an A execute so I can get their worries done with in a way. So these MP9s gonna be lethal without any armor on any of these players. Just Glocks looking to distract and blind as much as they can. Gonna find one. Two Panic finds it a little bit of an uneasy spray there from Fruit Cut. No bomb plant found. SB still gonna be sitting good right now, but that's not even enough money for rifles quite yet for Chicken Coop. They have been effectively completely reset into this.
That's healthy, right? I think
Yeah.
that's the digestion just coming through. SBE get their first real bite of things. Or maybe the taste of what's to come. Just another eco that's going to come over. You're going to deal with a couple of the Deegs. And I mean, a comeback here is very doable. You really have to understand. There's one on the decos, then you're up to 6. Things can just get so bad so quickly. It's a part of the recipe that Chicken Coop clicked into in the first 12.
Honestly, props to SBE to be able to keep their cool going into that CT side.
Okay.
You know, that's a little bit tilting.
See, drop to the same thing. Got Wreck up on the Deeg as well. I'm just right outside A here. There's no penalty for taking your time. Really just walking these 2 minutes out, these next 60 seconds. SML could be looking the wrong way, though. Drop is actually going to be boosting up Wreck, who can't quite find the timing. There's your second dose of it, and the Portuguese player puts down 2. OG and CT is just going to sum up 5 rounds here for SBE.
They're not completely allowing themselves to be ecoed, especially with those picked up AKs from a couple rounds ago. Finally have that full buy and a timeout coming up for Chicken Coop. And now finally have gotten to that point of Mirage that I'm sure they're kind of, you know, scratching their heads just a little bit. What is our complete game plan going to be against SBE?
The pressure
T-side.
in this moment is one that Collins never felt in his entire career. This is his first ESL Challenger League Cup, and right now he sits on top of a bed of house money. I mean, Chicken Coop are already playing with so much that we didn't expect, but right now they're not looking to lose. They have to make a call that is so hard. Colin right now, I'm sure, had his head in his stomach. So much pressure in that moment, in the pits of where these calls can just go awry. He has to be the one to make the difference, make this moment possible. Drop on the Fruit Cup. Maybe he can just rely on his individuals. It's just a default, or so it seems.
Molly's not going to completely push him away. OG missed shot. Actually going to get damage onto himself. Makes Chicken Coop want to push up a little bit harder, but Evan and SML finding kills of their own on those lurks. Not completely conjoined as you could really want it here for Chicken Coop. Has to get a little bit more firepower into this fight. Know where the op's at. It's going to be a slow stalk over towards B. No fake smun over to A. It's only 3 players on the right now. Evan's going to be the one to hold them back, at least until the rest of the team starts to rotate over with the first bit of util thrown. Double mollies just to clear out the sights. And oh, what a good angle here from Evan, but he's not able to catch anything quite yet. It's going to be Colin finding one for himself. Now, the Opper is in play. The bomb's going to get planted. 3v3 retake. You got to get into those positions. Yeah.
That's where my eye goes on the minimap to Drop, who had the opening kill, and now to close the round is going to need to stand up. Colin with a big kill. It's going to need to be the 2, up to Crisp, 1v1, and he's going to walk right into the crosshair of SML. Seems like Chicken Coop's luck in this B site was all gone in the first half.
The energy and confidence you can tell has just dripped away from Chicken Coop now. Not like how it was at that first half, and SBE with very good poise so far on this CT side.
Fast A hit. Fast A hit. They threw those right side smokes already. I mean, they answered with a smoke of their own. They're just going to be coming out blind to a smoke. And of course it would go this way. It's a bold call. It's such a bold call. You can respect that. But those can be shattered the hardest. But a 1v2, and I'm saying Wade as well, calling around that corner. He just wasn't ready to bounce to another kill just yet. SBE hold a game within 4 rounds.
I mean, they did some damage, but there's only so much damage you can do to that CT economy. They were sitting at 10K at the end of that last round on some of these players. SML just incredible plays from him. 4K in this round. Holding down that Palace pop. Doesn't get just more normal CT side Mirage Counter-Strike than that.
Chicken Coop, it's at the point right now where timeouts would really help you. Where having Dark Opsy behind you would really be the thing that makes the difference. It's the nerves that aren't going to take over SBE. Drop found that opening kill, and it was wasted. There are only, going to be so many of these out there. Gotta guarantee overtime first.
Need at least one here. Just how SBE has been playing. Lots of A aggression. Has 4 players really looking towards it. Finally, they're going to start rotating around. Worried about mid. It's just Wreckmeister here. Able to find the first. I don't know if he sees Freshie just around that smoke. Thankfully, Crisp there with the op for a trade. Now they have the numbers in their advantage. Are they going to expect SML? A little bit of a late lurk here. They heard his footsteps. I'm
not going to know about OG.
Quickly.
2 players inside a jungle, and they are so interested in investigating this entire connector altercation of 25 seconds ago. But what has it turned into? The late round and what they got to be worried about. So scared of this AWP, OG Wizard just going to give them the room to breathe now. Bomb has barely been held out. Crisp himself is maybe forgetting that fact. He has the bomb and going to have it at reverse default. This is going to be perfect for Evan to engineer this. Who is the player to watch out for? Is going to find Crisp in the back lines, but he doesn't know about Sandwich. This is the position, and Colin is going to go down empty-handed. It's going to have to be panic or drop to the 1 versus 1. The biggest round of Drop's career is this round on Mirage, and the smoke is dropped right on top, but the Turkish-Canadian player will secure 12 rounds for his team.
One's really all they need. Now that overtime is secured, they can kind of breathe slightly easier or fight as hard as they did now just to make it 1 more to 13 to win this in a 2-0 grand final, stealing SBE's map pick, stealing their permaban. This could get a little bit crazy here, Mark.
Every inch of this circumstance has just been too extreme for you to believe at home. For North American fans waiting for another team to develop can barely believe. Colin, a brand new IGL onto this squad in his very first Challenger League Cup. Called over for Reign Above. Made his name known at the beginning of the year. 1 more B hit. That's what Chicken Coop call up. However, it's Evan with a really good reminder as to how much they're going to have to push to close out this game. They just blew him up out of that corner.
Yeah, but that took way too long. That took way too long to Chicken Coop to even just kill Evan. SB has that read on them, has rotated another player. Gotta figure out the second move now. Drop's gonna be hanging out over on this site. See if he can thin the herd. This is pretty effective from SBE. I have to see if Chicken Coop's able to push back onto this A site. Freshie very close to ramp, checking out Palace, making sure that that is fair. Re-smoke over towards ramp. No, if anything, they're just gonna jump right through it.
Oh my
Freshie able
gosh.
to find 2. OG finding Colin. Drop. One who was trying to keep that attention on over. Has to find at least 4. Finds the first, maybe the second, but no, SML's gonna put that into the ground.
Unbelievable scenes that you get there out of Freshie. I mean, particularly right here, but I don't like this. The energy I'm getting from Chicken Coop is just trying to pour that little bit left in the glass that Nate need to fill this championship odd right here. 13. And they have a clock out here by Colin. Excuse me, by Crisp. It's the 2K per player they're going to roll with.
Pass through Con. They're watching. Colin at least gonna grab one for himself. That nade gonna put him almost into it. Hold on. This is now a 3v3. Drops entered into the equation. Have all this space, but has to figure out what he's gonna do with it. Wreckmeister going 1v1 with his op. Is he going to expect it? No. OG been just so good with it this entire half. Hasn't been flashy, but it's been the one to really hold down the fort when needed.
Oh,
that's what
dropping
we need.
a 1 versus 2. He would need a 4K to close. He's right on the top of that connector player, but not going to get it out easily, not in a clutch. You're going to have to get this thing fully out of the cold, dead hands of SBE. Currently, we're still looking at them, and they're healthy. I mean, they're still pushing in this game. Overtime, it's their next destination in their heads.
They just need 1. That's something that I feel like a lot of players could have some issues with once they get to that 12-round mark. They literally just need 1. They need 5 kills. As easy as it is for me to just say that. And a little bit difficult for Chicken Coop on this half.
Just one look over the top. OG Wizard. You can tell that crosshair is a little more antsy than it normally is. Stakes, the pressure's in this game. They're about to pop off here in middle. An altercation. In these next seconds, they're going to set the circumstance, the wonder for these next couple of walks. And maybe in round 22, where we continue stepping, is SportsBetExpert turf.
Really just can't crack that con. Every time there's a smoke, they're trying to fight through it. There's 3 players looking at you. Happening that pistol that just happened a couple rounds ago. So well grouped up with that crossfire. Now, a little bit of a flash is going to help Colin out with that. As I said, the cavalry has arrived. Crisp into panic. Gotta put up record numbers, so double digits are found.
This is dangerous. This is where SBE are making them shake. Coming into every gun round larger than the next. It may have to be, certainly, through a clutch, through a man disadvantage. SBE are pulling out every single stop in the moment. And when you have players that have been playing at the top of Tier 3 North America, Tier 2 North America across multiple rosters, you know that they are going to provide intangibles to make this thing really impossible when it comes down to really this crunch time.
Yeah, you just use the last timeout that they have. Just buying what they can. Try and get through the night. Hate to say it, but Chicken Coop, they gotta look towards OT at this point. At least they'd have a little bit more of some CT rounds to play against SB, but it feels like they've warmed up by now. Freshie dropping 22 already. Team synergy at an all-time high for them.
Slow and steady. Second smoke. Perfect with the util. And so precise in those little lines.
There we go.
Drop through the smoke. That sprinting one on the MAC-10. Start just as you said. Sneaking through.
Ooh.
Oh my god. I'm afraid this could be it. It's shaping up to look that way. A terrifying 2v5.
Forcing them into that fight and con is what they needed here, Mark. This is going to be all for them to find.
Hard. I'm calling practically impossible. It's a 2 versus 5 with the newest pickup of SML to drive them through CT. It's one shot out of Evan. You're gonna need 4 more of similar fashion, and it's done. That's it. Crisp and Panic with the final 2 kills. Magic, make-believe. These fairy tales do not write themselves. Chicken Coop make the most of their moment and become ESL Challenger League champions.
You know, good for them. Able to take their perma ban against SBE. A 10-0, leading the side on T side. SBE trying their best. 8 rounds over on CT. Just not able to match it to what they wanted here in the end. And what they wanted was that Ancient. They wanted to bring it to that third. They wanted that chance to see if they could be the champions. But congratulations to Chicken Coop. You have made history for your team here. It was incredible to watch. On the edge of my seat. So well done.
This is so cool. I think we're, really lucky as casters to be present for moments like this, because it's essentially all about moments like this. It's where maybe 5 players that have worked so hard in their careers can reach heights that they never have before. North America, I know you're watching along and probably cheering for the names that you may have seen before, like Freshie, like Fruit Cup in this server, but you'll see next up, it's Chicken Coop. I mean, here, this could have been LAG's turf, this could have been SBE's. There are 5 other teams ranked ahead of Chicken Coop in this tournament. There are callers with more experience than Colin. Colin, who's never been into an ESL Challenger League event, the first one he shows up to, he wins. As an IGL, I think that is worth its weight in gold. Drop reaching career heights alongside Chris, Rec, and Panic. I'm sure Jared just sitting at home watching along and cheering with the boys, but I mean, for all 6 of these players, I'll include Jared just being attached to this squad. Obviously, with this 5 in the server and Dark Ops watching somewhere else, this is such a place to be. I don't know if they could have imagined this. And the player that we get to call as our MVP is the one, the only Drop, who went absolutely insane in this series. I've been watching Drop grind since intermediate, playing in playoffs, multiple events through main. I remember when he got picked up to his first advanced team. It's insane to see this right now. A guy that's been working since he's been 16, 17 years old. He's the MVP of his first ESL Challenger League Cup that he wins. What an accomplishment.
Yeah, incredibly well done. Let's just take over at the bracket just to see how we shaped up to this point. To see Chicken Coop taking this historical win against them. You remember, SportsBet had a lot of 2-0 wins in their past. They just got that lag win after they had to forfeit that map, bring them into the finals, and incredibly well done for them. Chicken Coop was actually sent down to the lower bracket by SportsBetExpert, fighting back up against Team Aether to make their way here into the grand final and win it for them. Been incredible to watch, and just like you said, Marky, this is just record-breaking for them. Such an historical moment for this team, and I cannot wait to see where they're going to go next with this VRS points, what is going to be around the corner for Chicken Coop, because right now it is looking mighty fine.
That's a really good question. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more invites coming their way. I know that's a team that's also got Frag 20 in their future out in Las Vegas. This is such a great report from us. I couldn't be happier to see a new team atop the throne of an ESL Challenger League Cup. Players that have not even made it close here in their past do it tonight, but You know, before we end out the stream, before we say goodbye to Cup number 2, we have to say commiserations over to SBE because, I mean, Apples, that is going to be the worst pill to swallow in their team history. They have never gotten a better opportunity than this, and I'm not saying that they can't come back. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but in the next cup, you already have Boss back. You have a lot of teams that are going to be stacking those charts, so this is going to be tough. But the silver lining that I have, Apples, it brings us back to the Intel Extreme Masters Atlanta qualifiers. You remember those at the start of the year?
Yes,
It seems like it was so long ago. I was casting those alongside Vincent, and I remember right off the rip of it, it was in that start of the round 8 that SBE played Boss, and this was SBE just starting to play in some of their first HLTV officials. That was their first HLTV best of 3 win, right? If we're reporting that at the beginning of January, and I'm coming to you here in the middle of March reporting as one of these top tier 3 teams with no real in-game leader, I think Freshie is picking this up out of necessity. I think he could certainly do it. This is really good for SBE, but not good enough. Not worth the salaries that these players are getting, not worth the results, not worth the expectations for these players that I see in front of my screens. Second place, they're going to be going home with $8,000, Apples. That's got to feel good at some level, but these are players that are competing to be champions, and second place just ain't it.
Well, we'll just have to see how they fare with Shane joining that roster within the next couple of months. But thank you all for joining us here tonight for the Challenger League Cup number 2. Again, you're going to be Chicken Coop. Thank you all for watching, and we hope you have an incredible night. And I'm sure there's more Counter-Strike coming at you pretty soon. So, yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned. We'll see you all later. Bye. Helping him out there, but this is getting a little bit messy. The health is on the side of the seats. Not much utility left on these 3 players that are outside. Has to kind of rely on Chris, but one nice kill. Wreckmeister is dropped down. Oh my, this has to spend so much time trying to get this player out. Okay, there we go. One tap, but both of these players very, very low. One shot could be it. Ulster is going to help him out there. For a double, but they got to fight the players that are looking behind them.
He can hardly, keep their shot managed. Oh my god, he should have just seen the shadow. Evan Kaw is going to go for the plant in this scenario. Back out with
angle. At least SML is there for the trade, but now it's not even numbers. That has given them ample time to rotate on in, drop.
They have so many things on their side tonight to line up. Panic, he's whipping, he's got to hit that shot. In distraction. Smokes already. I mean, they answer with a smoke of their own. They're just going to be coming out blind to a smoke, and of course it would go this way. It's a bold call.
Free smoke over towards ramp. If anything, they're just going to jump right through it.
Oh my
God. Able to find 2. OG finding...